So You season 5 just came out. Congratulations.
Thank you very
You are
much.
Teddy Lockwood, who we find out is Kate's half brother. What type of breakdown did you initially receive for him, and what intrigued you about this role?
You know what's funny? In the breakdown, Teddy is sort of described as this soft teddy bear,
Mhm.
and that he's sort of taking all the hits from the family, and he's charismatic but soft. And I was obviously intrigued about being the black brother to all of these rich white billionaires, and my sister is British, and of course the brother-in-law of Joe. So I was intrigued by that, just the family lineup. But I was more intrigued by the idea that uh, Teddy could bring some humanity or a different version of humanity to that show and to that family. I based my character off of ASAP Rocky. I have an entire Pinterest board of ASAP Rocky. I went into the hair and makeup test going ASAP Rocky, because ASAP was like the face of Gucci, right? So he was Harlem on top, Gucci on the bottom.
Yeah.
So I wanted people to understand that Teddy did not come from the same world as them. That
Mhm.
he was, I mean, we tried to tell the story through my hair and some of my fashion, but I really wanted him to feel like black people would watch the show and go, I recognize this guy.
Well, yeah, because that's kind of another question I had a little bit later was, how did you approach bringing Teddy from paper to screen, like certain characteristics? So you said kind of really focusing on stylizing the character beforehand. What were specific traits you really wanted to highlight on screen with that?
Well, first and foremost, the look is everything because it's the first thing that people literally see. So our hair and makeup team was incredible, but I worked alongside Cherie Johnson. She did all of my hair. I sat in the hair chair longer than any of the women on my show, anybody. I was in that chair for hours every single day because we came up with this idea that he would have this afro. And of course, Cherie and I were like, afros are really hard to maintain in life and on screen because you have continuity. So like if this curl is doing this right now,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I can do that tomorrow. So Cherie, for hours, we were just crafting hair.
Mhm.
And so there was a hair journey for Teddy to go from an afro to braids because I wanted him to feel like once he got more established inside of the family and in the company and
Mhm.
in himself, he would go back to what he really looks like in life. And so, certainly the styling. And then I think there were a lot of conversations. Charlotte and I had a lot of scenes. Charlotte plays Kate on the show. We had a lot of scenes. Charlotte and I spent so much time together just hanging out. She's from London. So, like, I took her to Harlem. We rode bikes in Harlem. I took her to Soul Food
Oh,
just because we wanted to. She was like, "What's soul food?" I was like,
yeah.
"This is soul food. Line up."
Mhm.
But I wanted us to try to get a sense of I had been to London, but she had never been to Harlem. So I wanted to give her a sense of like this is where I'm from.
Yeah.
And and we had a lot of conversations about race. We had a lot of conversations about culture, class, how I'd be perceived in London versus here in America. And so, anyways, so
Mhm.
there was a lot of conversations. And the last thing I'll say is the showrunners, Justin and Mike, were incredible. We had so many Zoom calls
Oh,
just about like there was a line or there was an idea that was in the script and I was like black people wouldn't say that, we wouldn't say it like that, and
yeah.
they were like great, how would you say it? And
Oh,
so there was like a lot of it was not me alone, it was like a collective effort
mhm.
from across the board. So I hope that Harlem Teddy is on screen.
No, it translates really well because it's hard to be dropped in as a new character who's also a very main character in a final season of a really coveted show. So
Yeah,
Teddy translates really well on screen, and
thank
knowing how much work goes into that, it really does show. So Teddy and Kate are kind of like the outcasts of the family. How would you describe their relationship and what really drives their dynamic?
I thought, well, at least the way Charlotte and I talked about it with each other, I thought that their relationship was emerging. I didn't want them to feel like, well, we've been best friends for 10 years. I wanted it to feel like you're not sure if we love each other sincerely or maybe there's some underlying, deception going on. And so Charlotte and I really tried to play with that dynamic in our scene work. And even in our conversations off screen, we just talked a lot about dynamics. And I didn't want Teddy to feel like he was just at everyone's beck and call, because I was like, that's not what Black people are doing. It's 2024. When we were shooting, I was like, we're in a different space. And so we need to make sure that we are being true to that space. And so I think the relationship that the two siblings have was always under construction. I
Mhm.
wanted it to not feel like solid. I wanted it to feel like it was under construction. So when I'm saying to her in scenes, Kate, you can trust me, I wanted the viewer to be like, can we? We
Yeah.
sure? And I wanted her to be like, can I? Am I sure? That's what the show is. That's the best writing inside of the show, is when they make it so that you're actually not sure if you can trust each other. And that's why the show is what it is.
Yeah. Because the writing on the series has always been so quick and captivating. When reading scripts, what did you notice about the writing that was powerful and polarizing about the final season?
I think they went for broke on the final season. I just was texting with Anna Camp, who gives what I think is just a mesmerizing performance on the season. I was with her many, many days of shooting, and we saw it live. We were seeing it. But it's so different when you see it on screen, because sometimes actors are doing things live and that doesn't translate to the screen. What she did is even better than what she was doing live. It is incredible. Even her body double, Sarah, was like doing just as much work as Anna, because when we would turn a scene around, Sarah had to then play
The other.
all the same lines, all the same
Oh,
movements, and
wow.
Sarah was hitting it time after time. It was her first job on television.
Oh.
So I think maybe the thing about this season was that the writers really wanted to try to zoom in on the real life of Joe and the consequences of Joe and how Joe affects everybody in the circle, including his son.
Mhm.
Um, and then I think we also just wanted to have a lot of fun, and we truly, truly did. And I think it's on the screen. I think our actual relationships off screen are on screen, and it's really fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, I love that. So the Lockwoods all have a quest for control this season, but different intentions. Speaking of the twins, at the center of the show, they're kind of there. How do their relationships with Teddy showcase their intentions?
Well, the twins are very clear that they don't like Teddy. And that's actually really fun to play against, because there wasn't any question. It's, we don't like you, get out. And so when you get to play that as an actor, you don't have to question, what's underneath it. It's, we don't like each other. And I made up my own story around it about, again, my race, my culture. Coming into this family, I can understand why there would already be, we don't see each other. We're not from the same space. We haven't had the same privileges. And so that was super, super fun to play against. And I think that, honestly, Justin, one of the showrunners, and Mike, we talked a lot about the cultural implications of this family and
Mhm.
what it said in New York City. We're not in London. Now we're in New York.
Yeah.
So I was like, anytime I could show people New York, I'm going to show you New York. And I tried to do that with the twins, give them a little bit of New York.
So what was it like working on those specific scenes with Anna when she is, like you were talking about, those two different roles? And what was that reaction of getting to finally see that duality on screen, like seeing the final product come together?
Okay, so my favorite scene that I think we shot all season was the dinner scene. It's in episode 2. It's the full cast. We shot it early. It was like one of the first scenes we shot. It was a 2-day shoot because it was a long scene. Anna had monologues, page, flip the page, another one, flip the page. And so we had to sit on set for 2 days while Anna Camp did monologue after monologue. She never faltered. I'm not kidding. There was a point in the shooting day, it's like this is her 30th time doing the monologue. And I literally, in between takes, I was like, are you okay? Like, what are you doing? Like, who are you? And so we did that. We had so much fun, and we were in between takes getting to know each other. And then Sarah had to come in the next day, flip. Now she's playing Reagan, and Anna's on Maddie. And Sarah, we were like, Sarah, just read. You can read it. Don't worry. Don't feel the pressure that you have to do what Anna did. Sarah like a boss, was like, boom, boom, take after take after take after. So I think after that day, when we saw those two give that performance, we all became friends. It was like the day that we were like, oh, we have to hang out outside of set. We went to drinks and we were, we were kikiing, but I was so pleased to see it on the screen. I just what I said to Anna this morning, I was like, you managed to make a differentiation between two people. You're the same person. You did two different people. It's hard enough to do one person,
Mhm.
let alone in the middle of your day, switch over to hair, makeup, da, 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 and come and need to learn two sets of dialogue. It's nuts. What she did is truly, truly nuts. So I couldn't be happier that it landed the way that it's landed.
I found myself Googling, does Anna Camp have a twin that I just
Is she
don't know?
okay?
Like, what's going on?
Yes. She had a twin. She
Yeah.
really, I was like, Anna, you're not well. Whatever this is not well.
Oh, yeah, I think that scene too of like her, the switching immediately between the two yelling in the mirror. I was like, oh my goodness.
It's nuts. It's
Mhm.
really, really hard to do. And I know it's hard to do because on Flight Attendant, Kaylee had to play like 7 versions of herself. And Kaylee, she was exhausted. I mean, that's a lot of versions of a human. She was exhausted by it. She did an excellent job, but it was exhausting. And Anna was like, she was like a machine. She was just going and going and going and going. In fact, I will also give this little tidbit. There was a point too on one of our breaks, and I was like, did you go to drama school? Like, are you a trained actress? What are you doing? And she was like, I went to drama school. We turns out we graduated the same year. She went to a drama school and that I know about. And we just started talking theater. I was like, oh, she's a theater girl.
Yeah.
Like she memorized it like a play. And just it's I can't say enough good things. Can't say enough.
Oh, she's wonderful. Everyone on is. Um, so Teddy is a core member of the Lockwood family and works very closely with Joe. As you were reading scripts, did you have any running predictions or fears for Teddy?
I just said to the producers and the showrunners on day one, I said, please don't kill the black guy first. Just please. Kill me third.
Yeah.
Just don't kill me first. I can't. We just cannot do it. And they laughed. So I didn't, honestly, the way that it rolls out, it was very like Game of Thrones. We were getting scripts and you're reading the script trying to figure out if you live. Like we didn't know who lived and who died. So um, that was kind of a roller coaster of emotions trying to figure out, do I get to stay alive? Um, but I did have some predictions that didn't end up coming true. Not yet. Maybe there's future things, but um,
In episode 7, Teddy gets to see Joe's manipulation up close, and they, of course, have a struggle before Henry comes downstairs. How did you, the director, and Penn work to construct all of that tension and emotion of that scene?
well, it started on day one, trying to a trying to like Penn, Joe Goldberg. So like Penn is a very likable human off screen. He is nothing like Joe Goldberg. So Penn and I spent time together. He's a dad. I'm a dad. We talked about our kids. I went to his house for dinner and lunch with his family. And so like we were just trying to spend time together because I thought it's more interesting if we like each other and then it splits versus I've never liked you. So I wanted to try to build a relationship with him off screen so that we like, I like Joe. He's a good guy. And then slowly it starts to fall apart. They make them scared. And turns out when he's playing Joe Goldberg, I was scared. So I think it's on screen. Like I wasn't acting.
Yeah.
If you want to get into a fight with Penn Badgley, it's scary. So we were doing our real life fears on screen. So that was fun. And we tried to craft it so that obviously that it was safe, but I was like, let's not be so safe that it's like too choreographed, because then if it gets too choreographed, you end up sort of looking like you're dancing and not like you're struggling. Um, and I also played that scene for myself. I played it like that was my final scene. It's like the audience doesn't know if I'm going to survive the moment. And so I couldn't know if I was going to survive. So I went in like it was a horror film and I screamed a lot.
That's how you have to do it.
The
Um,
only way.
for that same episode, that same scene, with such intensity being portrayed on screen, how did you decompress in between takes or after that's said and done?
I mean, Because Penn has been doing the show for so long, he's really good about going in and out. Like, and all of us are. We were able to pick it up and put it down. I don't think anybody on our set was like, I must stay in character, I must because it's the days are so long that you really don't want to stay in character if you don't have to. So in between scenes and takes, we were like just ourselves and talking and chilling, and then action, and we're back into it. So that's actually lovely because it makes the day feel like not a horror film. And also, then when it starts, you actually can go into a horror film versus like all day long, we're just in sad depression and fear. I didn't want to do that. So, yeah.
Teddy has quite a few kind of save the day moments this season. As an actor, is there a scene you feel most proud of the work you put into?
Well, here's what I will say. I have not seen the whole season. So
Mm.
they gave us the season, and I am such a fan of the show. I wanted to watch it with everybody else. So I went to the premiere never having seen anything. And so I was sitting in the premiere nervous. I was like, why didn't I watch this? I should have watched this. Now I'm watching this with all these people. But I felt great about it. And so I'm on episode 4, and I'm really excited to see, how it goes down because some of the scenes I was not in, so I don't actually know what happened to some of those other characters. I didn't get to see their work. So, but the thing maybe that I'm most proud of is what Teddy represents. It's not one scene, it's about the representation for me. I've been really, really lucky in my career. And I looked at that red carpet photo and I was like, I was such a huge fan of the show. And I looked at the red carpet photo of all of us standing there and I was like, oh my God, I'm there. And also, oh my God, like I'm a singular Black gay dad in this world that I've loved for so many years. And so I just think the representation I'm just proud about. I'm proud about the afro. That was a calculated choice. I'm proud about the braids. That was a calculated choice. We had conversations about my husband. I've been on TV for many years. I've never had a Black boyfriend or a husband or a child. And so when we did our conversations with the showrunners, I said, I've never had one. And I think it might say something about Teddy if when you cut to my family, it's a dark chocolate Black man and a dark chocolate Black boy. It really tells you that he is not from them. He's
Yeah.
not from that world. And I am so grateful to Justin and Mike for like really listening to those conversations about race and culture and character development and really like going with it and going for it. I think it like made me feel proud to be a part of the show in a way that I was already proud to be a part of the show, but I was really proud about what happened behind the scenes with the hair, the makeup, the showrunners, the writers, the cast. I was just proud to be like, that feels like me. That feels like us.
Mhm.
The worst thing that can happen to you is you do something and you look at it and you go, that doesn't feel like us, or I don't recognize that. The best thing is when people are like, yeah, that's what we do. That's what we say. That's how we talk. That's how we dress. That's how we look. That's what I'm proud of.
Those are the small things. Representation matters, obviously, in the most simple sense, but in the smallest of roles, it doesn't have to be a huge storyline. Just a quick flash of the family, like you said, that says so much. That's a tiny detail that tells the viewer so much about Teddy without having to say it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that also just to that point, I think that it's also about not making everything the race, right? I mean, America, so much race going on in America, as we know, but we are so much more than our race, right? We're so much more than that. And so getting to find the nuances of who we are, right down to conversations about hair. Like even offset literally how to take care of my hair through a 5 month shoot of getting curled and heat. And you feel like that's real representation when it's not just like we've got the token Black guy and he's just going to do what we need him to do. It was really a collective effort to feel like we are really trying to bring authenticity to the character and to the writing. And then also we can all have a really great experience off screen. We're having a great experience off screen. Charlotte was doing the same thing about British culture and what it felt like to be, posh. And I was like, this is what I came for. I came for this kind of stuff. So anyways, I could go on, but I won't. But you get it.
I know that you haven't watched it all yet, but do you
No.
know how it ends?
I was in the final table read, so I do know how it ends. And I don't I've been giving interviews like not spoilers, so I'm happy with how it ends.
Yeah.
And I it was like an emotional final table read because Penn has been doing the show for so many years. And it was also our, I think almost everybody's first job back after the actor strike. So most of us, including the crew, which is very rare, had not worked in a year. And so getting to work your first job after a very difficult strike on this show with this kind of incredible energy, we were like pretty weepy at the final table read because we had realized how lucky we were. Also, the cast, we love each other like off screen. We really do love it. We loved each other on screen, but we loved each other off screen. And so it was just, we felt so grateful that we were like able to hold each other through this experience. It was like once in a lifetime, literally once in a lifetime. So I'm happy.
It was wonderful, just the way it comes together. I just found myself crying, like happy tears, sad tears, mad, like every emotion you feel. So.
Yeah.
And as a final question, are there any upcoming projects you can kind of talk about right now?
Yeah, I am doing I've shot a movie with Christopher Guest. It's Spinal Tap too. It's the last movie that I think those guys are making. Christopher Guest, if you don't know, he's Best in Show, Waiting for Guffman. I have been a fan of theirs for so long. It was an improv film like all of their films. I shot it a week before I started You. It was the most terrifying experience of my career because it truly is improv. There is no rehearsal. You walk out, another actor says to you, "My mother died," and you go, "Okay, tell me more." I mean, it's nuts. And the way that we shot in New Orleans, and we did like 10 to 15 to 20-minute long takes with no cut. And so when you're an actor that's like on You, it's cut. You do a 2 minutes cut, turning around, moving over the cut. It's a lot of cuts. So super exhilarating, super exciting. I'm really excited to see it. I've seen nothing, and I'm so excited to be a part of that one.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. That
Yeah.
sounds just, and I especially knowing the context too, just knowing it's go, 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 no cuts, and also just the improv aspect. That is,
Yes.
well,
Yes.
thank you for talking with me today.
You're the
Congratulations
best.
on you and just all this chaos that I'm sure is to come as more people finish the series. And oh, so fun.
I am so happy to talk to you. Thank you for chatting and thank you for more K.